Hello and welcome. We've got Greg MELISSON on the line. We're updating with him because, from our understanding, Greg, you went through some shit starting December 18th to just now, eh? January 11th, yeah. So what transpired in that period where we had no contact with you?
I got sent back on the 18th of December for a mental breakdown. I ended up freaking out on my parole officer because she was trying to accuse me of not wanting to do my program.
Yeah.
So then, instead of helping me with my mental health when I had a mental health outburst and I started crying, I was overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly.
She decided to call the Regina City Police and have me arrested and sent back to the correctional. So while I was on the inside of the correctional, everything was going good for a little bit there. And then next thing you know, I started experiencing suicidal thoughts, started experiencing hallucinations, started thinking I was hearing voices and telling me stuff about my girl, about my daughter and everything, that I ended up getting really emotional. I ended up trying to commit suicide. They put me in a baby doll for 5 days. My mental health deteriorated even further to the point where I didn't eat for 5 days, didn't drink a single ounce of water or use the bathroom at all. All I did was hide my face and lay underneath my blanket.
Can you tell the audience what's a baby doll?
The
Is that
baby
something
doll
that's
is
used for psychiatric help?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They basically put you in a outfit that you cannot tear and you cannot use to kill yourself or anything.
Yeah, like a straight jacket in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, basically. New word for something old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's a form of torture to me.
It is.
Like, I feel like the straight jackets were made, like, I mean, oh my God, like, they've been used for centuries, and this sounds to me like exactly the same thing, and it's totally mental torture.
It is.
So how
I was in a room where I couldn't even turn off the light. The guards were constantly watching me. Like, it was bad.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Like, Sherry and I, we were out here and we were like just pounding the keyboard, like, and trying to alert, and it's just like mental health to me. It just seems to be like there isn't any compassionate care or understanding of people who are having, emotional turmoil.
Exactly. Like, I even said that to my PO. I was like, hey, I'm just overwhelmed. Like, you got me on an ankle bracelet.
Yeah.
You're not going to let me see my family. You blocked me from the hood, from my old gang life.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm at work and it's buzzing because I'm at work and I go near somewhere where I'm not supposed to be because my ankle bracelet. Well, now you're affecting my employment.
Yeah, no, it's, to me, like, I think over Christmas, like, there's a lot of solidarity. With the people are standing in solidarity and all of that through Christmas and stuff. And it's like something's got to change because, like, if people are going to do well and they're going to get ahead and you're going to feel healthy, then you have to be with people you trust who are compassionate toward you. Like, yeah. I'm really sorry that happened to you. That sucks a lot. Like, how are you feeling today? Like, you said that, like, are you in contact with any mental health professionals or help right now?
I actually asked the staff at Health Canada to find me a mental health worker. They didn't do it right away when I got out, and I even told my PO that I was experiencing suicidal thoughts. So I went and contacted Sherry through Wes because I didn't have any data or anything, so I got a message out to Wes to get a hold of Sherry, and Sherry got me in touch with Bob Hughes, who I ended up meeting with, and he's put in a complaint to the OCI for them to look into why I was arrested, because I shouldn't even have been arrested. And then I put in a complaint to the Regina City Police Chief due to the fact that when I was getting arrested, the cop ended up grabbing my throat and saying that I was resisting arrest. When I wasn't, I was literally just trying to hang up the phone, and my girlfriend literally was on the phone with me and heard me gasping for breath.
Yeah. And this is all happening while everyone is aware that you are having suicidal ideation and that you have been traumatized. Like,
Exactly. They just don't
well,
care.
how do they expect? What kind of reaction do you expect if, you know what I mean? Ugh,
Hmm.
yeah. So you've got a lot going on. So this Bob Hughes, would you tell me some more? This is someone who's filing a complaint on your behalf?
Yeah, he filed a complaint
Yeah.
to the OCI and to the complaints department for the Regina City Police
Yes.
due to my arrest and everything. And I got an email back from the OCI where they said they're going to look into it. And they say that their mental health is top priority for guys in the institution and everything. Well, that's funny.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then why, when I put in my grievances and everything, saying, hey, I'm experiencing suicidal thoughts on the inside, why did they not step in? Why did they not step in when I got out and I called them?
Oh.
No, they waited till I got arrested.
No. And you know, like, I couldn't help it because I was worrying about the mental health. Like, I've been talking to Wes as well and, you know, listening to the stories, and it's like, oh, it's our top priority. They keep saying the same lie, and it doesn't make it true. Like, mental health is not the top priority of this place.
No, they're not even helping us. They're not even helping us reintegrate.
No. Yeah, like, I think, like, the veil is being. I'm glad that you're going ahead with airing your grievances, and you're going ahead with, like, showing the light on this, because it's like they just stand up there and lie to the people.
Like, they do, and I mean,
they
lie my girl on the phone and everything, and just it hurt me more than I didn't care that I was getting arrested. It hurt me more hearing her screaming, begging for them to let go of my throat. Yeah. And the cop literally was not going to do anything about it. And then when they said they got to cut off my ankle bracelet, I was like, why are you cutting it? Like, this is a mental crisis. This isn't me committing a crime. Why are you sending me back? And then the cop turned around and said, oh, yeah, you don't want to give us your ankle bracelet? I'll pull you out the car and I'll kick the teeth down your throat. How is that proper people? How is that protecting the community when you're going to turn around and threaten to kick the shit out of someone when they're handcuffed?
No, it's not. It's not in any way. To me, it's a gross violation of your human rights, and it's a gross violation of our civil rights. And psychiatric abuse is just allowed to take place. It's been taking place for, like, decades. And now I think what you're saying out loud here on the show proves how degraded mental health care has become, hey?
It is.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to sit here and continually beg to get mental health help when I'm experiencing suicidal thoughts? They still won't help me.
Like, how are you, does taking the action of going forward with the grievances and stuff, does that help your mental health? Like, where are you right now feeling? Like, are you feeling right now secure and safe? Like, are you feeling like, until the access to the resources must be not, it's still, like, you told me this a month ago that you couldn't get resources. Over a month, 2 months now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I still can't, like, my mental health, yeah, it's kind of, I have my days where I'm good, I have my days where I'm just an emotional wreck, and
right, yeah,
just want to push everyone away and don't want to talk to everyone and just want to give up.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've got people in my life that are positive support that keep encouraging me, like my girlfriend. Like, I'm about to be a dad to a newborn child in 8 months, so I mean, like, that's something I gotta look forward to, and I just want to be there for my kid, but at the same time, the system's trying to take me from him.
Exactly. No, I'm
like,
happy
if I don't
to
get
hear
help,
that.
what's gonna happen?
No, I'm congratulations, and to me, it sounds like it's true for all parents or people becoming parents. It's like that's struggle enough, let alone having we need a bigger community support for all of us, like, so we can do our best for the kids that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a strong point. Like, I know a lot of people say to me, oh, why do you care? Like, why do you talk?
Yeah.
Why do you do these videos? Like, why do you care? And it's like, if we don't care, like, what? You don't care for your kids? Like, I care for my kids, that we grow up in a place where mental health is taken seriously instead of a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so though that's something to, like, totally, like, help people to keep going. And I think people hearing your story, I know that your story got a lot of action there. And I think people hearing it, it really like helps them understand that it's when you reach out for mental
Yeah.
health help, you shouldn't be met with violence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I experienced suicidal thoughts, and I even told my PO that I'm overwhelmed
Yeah.
when I started going off and stuff. And she turned around and still continued to yell at me and accuse me of not wanting to do my program when that's not what I said.
Yeah. It's just like mental health, like the Minister for Policing and Corrections, Christine Tell, has a degree in psychiatric nursing.
She don't have shit. She don't care.
She doesn't care. And that was like, it's like, if you understand human suffering, like if someone came out, like I understand when people have PTSD and they start and they start getting triggered and they start going back in time and they're not really there. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they black out. And then you got to be there and you got to make sure you can bring them down. Like, to me, it's just sick that someone who's experiencing this terror is made to be more terrorized.
Exactly. I didn't have these symptoms I have now when I got out of the penitentiary.
No.
I had PTSD. I was able to be cool, calm, and collected, but I have my issues with anger.
Right.
But when they sent me back, I don't trust anyone anymore.
No.
I disassociated myself with everything. I've literally went from having a whole bunch of friends to now I've literally only got like 3 or 4 because I don't trust anyone. I still think I hear voices telling me all this shit about people. I'll be on the phone. Next thing you know, I'll be talking to like my girlfriend Sam.
Yeah.
Sam will say something and I'll think she said the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And then it'll start an argument because I'm sitting here hearing her sounding like someone's over there, but no one's even there. It's the voices inside my head that caused this due to me getting sent back to the correctional over when I should have been sent to psychiatric help. I should have been sent to the hospital and had a psych evaluation where I could have gotten my help. No, they sent me back and made me worse.
Yeah, it's total, I don't even know what to call it anymore other than torture. Like, it's psychiatric torture. It's torture against you. It's the people you love, the people who love you. It's torture against everybody around the community. It has to stop.
Exactly. Like, it's pretty bad when I was in the correctional and I was talking to my dad. And my dad turned around and said, Greg, my boy, I need you to call a lawyer. I was like, why? What's up? He's like, call a lawyer and sue this fucking place. You were wrongfully arrested. That was a mental health crisis. You were thrown in jail. Sue them. As soon as my dad said that, my penitentiary transfer got suspended, and I got paperwork sent into the jail saying that on the 11th of January I was being returned to the Oscana halfway house. And then when I got out, my PO sat there saying, oh, you were doing such a good job on the streets, that's why we let you out. Meanwhile, in the back of my head, I'm like, no, it's because you got the call log from me and the correctional to see who I was calling and got the recording of me and my dad talking about suing this place.
No, it's...
Because now I haven't even been bugged at all by my PO. She doesn't even bug me. She doesn't even call me in, nothing.
Yeah.
She literally leaves me alone now.
And it's like, to me, that's the problem. It's like, why do families and people have to bully the government to get them to do anything? Like, if you actually cared about people and you would do something as fast as you could to help. It's clear,
Exactly.
like, it's clear what you say. Like, it's a sad state of affairs.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's pretty bad when, you call out the government to say, yo, you guys need to change stuff. And they won't even answer. They won't even acknowledge it. Like, what are you trying to do? Say that, oh, this is just a story, this is all made up?
And then they wonder why we get pissy. And it's like, it's kind of like a mental tactic, I feel. Like, they just push you around until you can't.
Psychological warfare.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you did this in the war, you'd be going to jail for war crimes.
Human rights abuse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because this is psychological warfare. This is basic torture.
I agree. I agree. I studied a lot about like Gitmo and like the Abu Ghraib and all of the military like prisons that they set up in the Middle East. And some of the shit that goes on in there, like we're getting pretty frickin' close to being as like
We are.
crazy militarized and like really hateful and like, you know, I don't know. You know better than I do.
Oh, I know. Like
Yeah.
my dad even said, he was like, my boy, like that's pretty bad when you're being treated as if you're a disgrace to your own country by how the government's treating you. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, Dad. Like, I'm trying my hardest to be a proper member of society. That's what my PO keeps saying. We want you to reintegrate to be a proper member in society, okay? I had one slip up where I blacked out because of a mental illness,
Yeah.
of me being bipolar, and you send me back for being good? I literally told my PO, I was like, I might as well get back in the gang life then and say, screw everything and just coast and not be, try and be good. Just coast through my shit, do what I have to do, and then stay in the gang life.
Yeah. It creates a situation of like I know over Christmas sometimes I would just like heave these like heavy sighs and I'd be like sometimes feeling like can anything ever change? Like what's the point? Like how do we make it different?
Exactly, and I haven't seen my family for Christmas in over 4 years. Christmas time is the worst time for me,
Yeah, right.
possibly, because I had my first son when I was 14. He died when I was 16, and he was born on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I have not had a single good Christmas in 4 years because of this government. I make one error in life, and anytime my name gets brought up in a situation, boom, I'm getting arrested, and they don't even. It's no longer where you're innocent till proven guilty.
No.
I have to prove my innocence.
Right. And
Why do I have to do that?
no, exactly. And also too with like you're talking about government officials, they're allowed to openly break the law, lie, dismiss us, treat us like garbage, and nothing ever happens to them. They never get called out.
Because everyone's too scared to call them out.
Well, we gotta, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're not scared to phone and talk about what you deserve. You got human rights, and I'm sorry to hear about your shitty Christmas.
Like, they sent me back to the correctional for a mental health to apparently calm me down. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You're telling my boss it's going to be a couple days. Couple weeks. Couple days turn into a couple weeks. Almost turns into a month. Over a mental health breakdown? What? That's not calming me down. That's punishing me for having a mental illness.
It's true. It's psychiatric abuse. Like, it's criminalization of a subset of people. Like, I too have a diagnosis, a mental health diagnosis. I too have been treated like a criminal, been treated like a monster, like been treated like there was like I wasn't even a human person. Inside psychiatric, it's psychiatric abuse, and it's just flowing over into the where now the cops get to do psychiatric abuse.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Like,
really dehumanizing. I hear you. It's dehumanizing.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, even with the whole situation with Bob Hughes.
Okay.
Like, I have this complaint to the OCI.
Yeah.
And I'll actually read that out to you so you actually know.
Please, yes, please.
So this came from Bob Hughes. This was sent to Ivan Zinger, the Office of the Correctional Investigator, on the 17th of January, 2021.
Okay.
This was the day I met with Bob Hughes at Northgate to talk about it, because I don't want to talk about this stuff in front of the staff at the halfway house.
No.
I don't trust them.
Right.
So he said, I am submitting this complaint for your investigation on behalf of Greg MELISSON. He is currently residing in the Oscana Center in Regina. He has been diagnosed with ADHD, ODD, and bipolar condition. Greg was transferred from the PA pen on November 19th, 2020 to Oscana. He had been experiencing suicidal thoughts for some time while in the pen without receiving any mental health intervention. so his mental health needs would have been well known by the Oscana staff. He had even put agreements in while in the pen because he had been denied the mental health help. Oscana staff have told Greg that he cannot access mental health help until sometime in March. On December 18th, 2020, Greg left his program book at the front desk of Oscana with the commissioners to keep it safe until he returned from work. When he returned from work, he was talking on the phone regarding mechanic work that he also does, and he had told the person on the other end of the call to throw it out. The commissioner reported to Oscana staff that Greg had told them to throw out his program book, which obviously is completely incoherent with Greg's actions in leaving his book with commissioners for safekeeping. Obviously, Greg objected to such a ridiculous accusation, and Oscana took action and called the Regina Police Service. Greg was on his phone when police arrived, and he asked why they were there. An officer said that they were there because of his attitude. Before Greg could hang up the phone, the police grabbed him by the arm and began choking him and told him to quit resisting. When they got him in the back of the car, the officer told him that they needed to cut his ankle bracelet off. His bracelet had been put on by the parole officer, even though his release order had not included that. Greg expressed concern RE having the bracelet cut off, and an officer said, "Oh yeah, if not, I'm going to drag you out the car and kick your teeth down your throat." Everything was witnessed by Greg's girlfriend and mother, who were on the other end of the phone calls during his arrest and on his way to the Regina Provincial Correctional Center. There are obviously videos inside Oscana regarding Greg's interactions with commissioners and with the arresting officer. Great concern has been expressed in the community that the Oscana Center staff are failing to successfully support inmates in their reintegration process. In fact, it seems that most of the effort is put in sending inmates back into institution. In Greg's case, although he is struggling with mental health crisis, every time that he has a meltdown, the staff threaten to send him back rather than securing the help that he requires. I've worked as a mental health worker in Regina's inner city, and I believe that this is an urgent need for him to access mental health support as soon as possible. The staff have told Greg that he can have a mental health outburst. It seems that their only remedy is to send him back into the correctional institutions rather than supporting his recovery. Please investigate Greg's situation and, in fact, the whole failure of this institution to provide inmate reintegration into the community. Sincerely, Bob Hughes, mental health advocate, Saskatchewan Coalition Against Racism.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. It's totally clear to me. Their focus economically and their focus ideologically is just on catch, release, put back, no resources, no access. It's true.
It is.
It is. It is true. That's a powerful letter. Definitely.
And, that's the worst thing, too, is, Sam was on the phone crying and screaming and begging for my life. Begging for it. She said, "Please don't kill my baby daddy." It's literally the words she said. And it made me so upset.
Oh, no. To me, I know, I understand. I know. I would be in a state of total disarray. It's just...
That's the thing. I sat there and I was laughing, too, when I was in the back seat of the cop car.
Yeah.
Because the cop grabbed my throat, said he was going to kick my teeth down my throat. But not once did he take my cell phone from me. Not once did he take the Bluetooth earbuds out of my ear. And I was on the phone the whole time going from the halfway house to the cop shop. From the cop shop to the correctional, I was on my cell phone.
Yeah.
And then when I got to the correctional, he asked me, he's like, "Are you done on the phone?" I was like, "Yep." He's like, "Okay, we're ready to go in." I was like, "Yep. I'm going in peacefully. Yeah. I already told you that, guys, that when you guys arrested me, you guys used violence. That's why you let me stay on my phone." I get in there, and the cop turned around and said, "Okay, Greg, kneel up on that bench." I was like, "Okay." I kneeled up on the bench so they could take off my handcuffs. The cop turned around and said, "Now put your fucking hand, whatever hand I undo, on the back of your fucking head. You move, I'm bashing your face off the wall." I was being peaceful. I didn't even move. Why would you sit there and threaten me?
It's just extreme violence over and over and over again in your life, Greg. It's really... it's totally disconcerting.
It took a correctional guard at the Regina Correctional that knows me.
Yeah.
Stepped in and said, hey, you can't say that. He's being peaceful.
Yeah.
You're going to trigger him and he's going to get pissed off.
Yeah.
The cop is like, oh, I can say whatever. I have a badge. So like the correctional officer looked at me and shook his head, telling me to calm down.
Yeah.
No sooner was the handcuffs off, I jumped off the bench and I looked at him and I was like, okay, now you want to kick my teeth down my throat? Go ahead. I'm already in jail. Go ahead, kick my teeth down my throat. Now I don't have handcuffs on.
Yeah.
And the correctional officer literally looked at him and said, what? You threatened him when he was having handcuffs and he was being peaceful. Now you got him triggered. Now we have to deal with them.
Yeah.
I was like, if I wouldn't have been triggered if he would have shut his mouth, took off the handcuffs, and fucked off like he was supposed to. No. He triggered me because he wanted to beat the shit out of me so then he could charge me with resisting arrest. But because I wasn't resisting arrest, he wanted me to attack him so I could get charged with assault on a police officer.
Just violence.
Like I said in multiple recordings, Brandy,
Yeah.
if they send me back, it's because they want to silence me, and that's what they tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it took my homie Wes. Wes got in contact with you, told you guys what was going on.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, all of a sudden, I'm getting a phone call at the correctional for my PO. Hey, we're letting you back out. Me and Cheryl have already talked.
Like, we were concerned. Like, we were concerned. I was concerned. Like, to me, to leave somebody, like you were saying, you were listening to her, Sam's voice, and she's, like, pleading, and you can hear that terrible sound when you know of someone who loves you and they're suffering. And
Yep.
you can hear that, and it's like, it's like, when you hear people suffering, like, man, why would you respond in a violent way? Like, you'd have to respond the exact opposite way.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I was sitting there crying.
Yeah.
Crying my eyes off.
Yeah.
Hearing.
Yeah.
And then every time I was at the correctional and I would call Sam when she was at home,
Yeah.
I hear my daughter in the background just screaming and crying.
Yeah.
Daddy, when are you coming home?
Yeah. It tortures the
Like,
whole
no,
family. It tortures everyone. Like, it tortures the whole community. Like, you know, and it has a weird ripple effect. You know what I mean?
does.
You know how somebody gets grumpy and then all of a sudden everyone's mad? It's like,
Yep.
as soon as you act violence, then more people get angry, more shit happens, and it sucks.
Like, I was at the point where I was like, you're going to take me from everything. I might as well take myself.
Yeah. I'm
And
glad.
I even said it out loud while I was at the correctional, and the nurse was talking to me. And I was like, I honestly can't do this anymore. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, living. Like, if this continues, just give me a fucking gun and let me take myself out. You guys are trying to take me out as is. Let me take myself out on my own terms.
I hear that. I've walked the line like a lot too in my life, and I'm, you know what I say to you, Greg? Ask Greg. We're glad you're back, and we're happy you stay. You know, your spirit must be like strong as hell, stronger than hell, maybe.
Like, I've gone through hell and back.
Yeah.
But me being out and having my freedom and having my friends and my family and my daughter and my girlfriend and my other homie, being able to hear their voices and hearing people say they're proud of me,
Yeah.
it encourages me to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I'm doing so good. Why would you send me back? Why deteriorate me?
Yeah. Ow.
Just because you wanted to be a bitch? Because I told you I knew who your husband was? Because your husband had arrested me and suckered me in Walmart and I beat the shit out of him because he didn't identify himself as a cop? So you take this out on me.
Yeah.
I really don't even want my PO as my PO, but I can't even do anything about it.
No. It's like, relationships are based on trust, right? And so, like, if you don't trust people who are supposed to help you in the community, how the hell are you gonna get better? Like,
exactly, and how are you supposed to ask for help if you don't even trust them?
you can't ask for help from people you don't trust. Doesn't even work. You know, I know what, like, having gone through some of the similar things with psychiatric abuse, how relationship between people with mental health problems and stuff, it needs to be a tight, close, trusting relationship, or it's not going to work. And I mean, if the corrections wants to say, oh, we're helping, there's no trust, so there's no help.
There is no help.
Mental health, yes, there's no help. Like, yeah, no. Yeah. No, it had, like, the protests and stuff, and then did you hear about, like, PA and the riot, or they called it a riot, but the guys were just trying to tell us what the fuck was happening. And all of that, like, there's solidarity, too, for the future. I think for, like, we need to change how psychiatric help is had.
Look at it. I went back to the jail, and I only got half hour out, so I had to pick and choose. Either I was going to call my family, call my girlfriend, and talk to my daughter, or I had to shower.
Yeah.
And then I'm locked up in a room for 23 and a half hours the rest of the day.
Yeah.
How is it supposed to help someone's mental health? You might as well put me in a freaking hospital. At least that way, then I'm getting actual help.
Yeah. No, it's just torture. It's torture. I'm glad that you're calling in, and we really wanted to know what was going on with you when we couldn't talk to you.
I know.
And we're like, when someone reaches out to me, like, I was always in school, and I was always in like, when I was in the community, anytime someone said to me, you know what, I'm not feeling well, I'm having a mental health problem, they would say to me, or like, I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I'm feeling like, I was there. I was the first person there. Like, that's what they train you to do. But you didn't receive that. Like, it makes me sick. Like, you got to respond to people when they're feeling that pain in their, like, psychic pain.
Well, even if I don't say it, they see my body language.
Exactly. You can feel it off of somebody.
My body language tells you what's going on, even if I don't say it.
Right.
They still turn around and did what they did to me. And then they wonder why I lost my shit.
No, I'm sorry that happened to you. And I'm glad that, like, my voice out here, and Sherry, and there's a lot of people in the coalition who are speaking out. And it's like, I'm glad that we got you to a place now where you're able to talk to your loved ones more regularly.
Yeah, I got my cell phone back now. I talk to my girl all the time. I'm literally actually with her right now. She's at the mall getting some stuff while I'm talking to you, and I'm going to do my program and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
I just want to do my program, get my program done, and get the fuck out of that halfway house, because they're not helping me. Yeah. I feel like if I continue to stay there and I don't get my shit done, I'm not going to change. I'm going to get sent back more times.
Yeah. Because
of mental health breakdowns, because I'm not getting anything.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I literally stay back the day.
Yeah.
I can't even get medicinal marijuana for my pains. Nothing. They won't even help me get that.
No, that's something, you know, I'm glad you brought that up, Greg, because that is a passion of mine, is medical marijuana for PTSD. It's a miracle worker. And the fact that it's being ignored in Saskatchewan as a legitimate form of mental health help is, to me, like, morally sick and disgusting. So maybe you bringing that up will give me an opportunity to do a little bit more fact-finding on that, because we have a drug that should be utilized for people who have PTSD. I thought it was legal.
It's all legal.
Yeah.
But some of us guys at the halfway house can smoke weed because it's a drug.
It's a medicine.
Give us medical marijuana, and I guarantee you if I had medical marijuana, I wouldn't have had my outbreak that I did. Because I would have been cool, calm, and collected. I wouldn't have been so emotional. But no. They want to keep pumping pills down my throat that I don't even want. They don't even help.
I will write, if you don't mind, Greg, you telling me this, I will write a letter And me and you can talk about that letter. You could put your name on it too if you want, but medical marijuana should be absolutely at the forefront for all people who have PTSD in Saskatchewan. This should be like, this is abuse again. It's psychiatric abuse. The pills that they give you, Greg, I know you know, because I know, and you know that when you take those drugs, you're fucked. You can't even function.
I can.
No, like I couldn't function when I took. Oh, they want you to take the Seroquel. Oh, Risperidol. Like there's so many antipsychotics, they call them that, and all they do is put you under.
Exactly.
And marijuana it calms your system. And so that if you have PTSD or if you come into a situation where you're anxious, the marijuana itself keeps you from acting out because your body is all quieted. Like, exactly. So you know, and I know, and the government needs to know, or else it's just more abuse. It's more abuse.
I'm tired of the abuse.
What's that?
I'm tired of the abuse. The shit that they do to us is sickening.
It's sickening.
There's so many guys that literally just want to go off.
Yeah.
Want to start breaking shit just so people realize, yo, we need help.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping that in the coming months, like, I'm seeing so much solidarity, Greg, like, on the ground with, like, different coalitions of people, like-minded people. And just being like, this is abuse and we are not consenting to it anymore.
Exactly.
Like, we do not consent to this abuse. Like, I was trained in assist in the suicide prevention, and I worked with at-risk people my whole life. And to me, this is just like more and more and more criminalization of people who have mental illness and people who are in poverty.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've seen it my whole life. Too. Hopefully now more people are seeing it, and now we can get more people involved in doing something about it.
Exactly.
So if you think that, getting your voice out here and getting this all heard, it helps. It helps.
It does.
It is just such a slow process to get anything done. Like, and that's the problem. It's like when people are suffering, they need direct action.
Exactly.
Direct action. Not.
They think, they can wait. They don't need it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what? You're not going to give me mental health help? Okay. Why don't I just put a string up on my door, string myself up, and then maybe you guys might act then?
And that's what it comes to that. And I can hear that that's where we are with a lot of people, is that we are at that breaking point where direct action is necessary to,
exactly.
Yeah, to stop, Bronson Gordon, you know him?
Yeah, I know. I miss that guy. I heard about that.
And that's the thing, is that we have the evidence, the voice evidence of people willing to speak out and record and stuff. And it's suicide is real. When there's an atmosphere that people want to go, they want to go. I hear a little voice. Is there a little voice there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I should go too, because my little voices, I can hear them screaming now too.
Yeah, my little one's screaming.
We gotta pay attention. Mama, pay attention to me. Dada. It's always the same. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here and you're calling.
Alrighty, I'll give you a shot sometime later.
Well, you got a courageous heart. You got a courageous heart, and it's gonna help. It's already gonna help, Yeah. Well, thanks, Greg.
Yeah. All right, thank you,
Go play with your baby.
Yeah.
Bye.
Alrighty, talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye.